Hey folks, Ed Hartzel here, firearms instructor at Classic Pistol in Southampton, Pennsylvania. Today I want to spend a couple minutes talking about the different methods of carry. So for some of you, you might be thinking about carrying a concealed handgun for defense, or you might be new to it. We're just going to talk about the different types. Now I'm not going to go into brands of holsters and different things. I'm just going to give you food for thought about the methods that we use for carrying a gun concealed. So by far the most popular that we see nowadays is the inside the waistband, where obviously, like this, as you can see, the gun and the holster go inside of your waistband. Now there are lots of different methods of inside the waistband carry. Normally you'll hear us talk about the clock positions. So if you think of your hip bone as 3 o'clock, right now I've got this at the 4 o'clock position. This is sort of considered as a standard where it requires the least amount of work to learn this draw stroke safely from this position. You're not going to muzzle yourself and your leg back and forth and different things. You could also move this to the 3 o'clock position. Simply by a change that slight, what's happening is I've limited my range of movement. Now when I go back and forth, it's kind of digging into my side. So every degree forward or back that you put a holster will change how it feels on you. You'll hear people talk about appendix carry. Now, true centerline appendix is right in the middle, but if you've got something forward up front to you, that's considered appendix carry. Now, appendix carry is a very quick method of draw. However, you can see that the barrel's pointing in some pretty important places, so you got to be really careful and moderately knowledgeable about how to do this. You got to burn a lot of repetitions with a dry fire gun, learning before you go and carry a loaded gun here. It's not as simplistic as it seems. Now, while inside the waistband will offer you the greatest level of concealment because the gun and the holster are inside the waistband, one of the most common complaints that I wind up hearing is, hey, it's uncomfortable. Yeah, there's a gun inside your waistband. It's something you have to get used to. So it's one of the prices that we pay to have a pretty good concealment of that firearm. Another alternative is going to be an outside of the waistband holster. Now, there's lots of different types of outside the waistband. One of the most popular always has been the through the belt type, in which case you need a good heavy gun style belt, or at least a big trucker's belt, that's going to serpentine through the holster and anchor it to your body. You can't grab the gun and accidentally, pull it up and have everything stretch on you. You need to anchor this system properly to you. And with that outside the waistband, obviously we need to be conscious of that cover garment, keeping something down over top of it so that it remains concealed. But outside the waistband comes in a couple different methods, through the belt being one of the most popular. We'll talk about a couple others. What might be considered one of the most comfortable methods of carry is also one of the least concealable, so a paddle type holster. Sometimes they're leather and Kydex like this one, sometimes they're just Kydex, but a paddle holster has indeed just that. It's got a paddle that goes down inside of your pants, and the holster rides on the outside of it. Now, while this distributes the weight pretty evenly, it's like having a toaster attached to your hip, right? Now, these holsters are designed for detectives, guys that have a badge and a sport coat or something on top, where concealment is not that big of a concern for them. But for regular civilian concealed carry, this can be almost cumbersome depending on what season it is and depending on what type of garments we've got on. So folks, while you can see there's a lot of different methods of carry, either inside the waistband or outside of the waistband, it comes down to what you decide for you. However, whatever method you decide on, you've got to keep in mind that you have to learn how to safely draw a gun. Possession of a holster and possession of a gun and possession of a concealed carry permit does not entitle someone to be able to do this well or safely. If you hurt yourself, it's like helping a bad guy, right? So whether it's here at Classic Pistol or anywhere, take some training. Seek out, an instructor who's familiar with this stuff who can help you learn how to properly draw a gun from whatever method you decide to carry that. There's other methods of carry, such as ankle carry, pocket carry, stuff like that, which are going to be compromised that require learning as well. There's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. One of the things you want to watch out for, folks, is carrying off of your person. So a lot of ladies like to carry guns in their handbags. I'll meet guys that carry their guns in backpacks. Some people keep their gun in the center console of their car. That's not carrying a gun. That's transporting a gun. All of those things that I just talked about, those three, have potentially terrible outcomes. Statistically, more women get their bags snatched than get in shootouts. So the worst case scenario is that a guy grabs the bag, now he has the gun, and he uses the gun against the lady who's carrying it. Your car is not a holster. If you think you're going to be able to retrieve a gun from your car in the fleeting seconds that it takes sometimes between life and death, you're wrong. So guys, try out a couple different methods, see what knowledgeable people that you know do, take some training, take some classes. Go to classicpistol.com, look at our training page, sign up for some of the concealed carry courses that we've got. But learn about what you're doing, be safe, have fun. Once again, Ed Hartzel from Classic Pistol. We'll see you all soon.